Hey guys, Evan Dan here. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to make use of behaviors and demographics into your targeting. All right, so let's dive straight into it. Okay, so over in the detailed targeting section, all right, you may the most common way of using is definitely using interest, like dog lovers or whatever lovers or specific interest group. But there's a very useful tool, and groups where you can actually target them is actually behaviors and demographics. All right, so right now I'm going to show you, some of the potential groups, demographics, and behaviors that you can use to target very specific groups of people. Okay, so let's go ahead. Okay, so to target, if you do not know what you want at first, just go ahead and click on browse over here. Okay, click on browse, and right away you can see demographics and behaviors. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about demographics first. Okay, so demographics is very specific to the United States because all the data is based on the United States. I think it's collected by an offshore agency. It's not directly by Facebook. So please do note that all these demographics may have an increased price compared to the normal interest on Facebook. All right, but having said that, if you are able to target very specific groups of people and get very good conversions, it's still definitely worth it. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take a look at some of the demographics over here. Okay, so over here we can see education. All right, okay, education, financial. Right, so financial is very useful sometimes. All right, so let's say you're selling something more expensive. All right, you definitely want to target the higher income range people. If you're selling something that's over $200 or $300, not everyone of the lower income group would spend just spend like $200-300 on an online item they find on your store, right? So this is something very useful. However, always the very good way of using this interest group, this income groups is intersecting with some of the huge interest group. So for example, you want the dogs lovers, okay? People who love dogs. Right, so right away, the US, there's 63 million people who love dogs. But however, you're selling something very high class, for example, a really expensive like gold dog collar, for example, all right? Something not dropship, but something if you are doing a branding store or something you're dropshipping a really expensive collar that costs probably $500, made of diamonds or gold or whatsoever. Okay, so let's go ahead and check it out. So by intersecting, okay, go ahead and click on narrow audience. Okay, so this means that people who love dogs and also are in this specific demographic. So let's go ahead and put in, so let's say they have a higher income range, or let's say 150,000 to 250,000. Right away you see the group of potential reach drops to only 8 million users. All right, so people who love dogs and are in this specific income range, there are only around 8 million people in the United States. All right, so right away, this is a very good way, of trying to intersect specific interests with demographics or income or behaviors. Okay, so this is just one of the many different ways where you can really use the intersecting interest. Okay, so let's continue and look at the demographics again. Okay, so if you're selling something to a relationship, like I love you letters, couple stuff, relationship status, this is something really useful as well. Okay, so another thing, politics. Okay, politics, if you're selling something like politically involved, this is something that's really useful as well. Okay, all right, so parents, okay, moms and all parents with this is very useful, especially selling kids products. Okay, so this is one of the really common ones that me and Steve use day in day out for our baby products or kids niche. Right, so by being able to target very specific groups of parents, you know how old they are, right? So yeah, let's say you're selling Pampers or newborn stuff. So you are able to target new parents, or maybe parents all the way to preschoolers. All right, so you can't be possibly selling a preschool product to maybe preteens, right? So that's totally wrong. So this is a very, very good way of intersecting parents with specific interests, right? Okay. So I think that's about it for demographics. There's a lot of different interesting ones. You can make use of anniversary within 31 to 60 days, or birthday, live events that you can, let's say, anniversary is 31 to 60 days. So you target this specific group of people and sell them an wedding anniversary item. Say, hey, your anniversary is coming up, so you might be interested in something like that. All right, so this is some of the really interesting ways you can make use of this targeting. Okay, so next up, I'm going to talk about behaviors. All right, behaviors is also another very interesting tool you can use in targeting. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a quick look as well. Okay, so anniversary, again, within 61 to 90 days, there's 9 million people, right? So let's take a look at this. All right, so right away, people with their anniversary within 61 to 90 days, there's over 2.7 million people in the United States, aged from 20 to 65, both male and female. All right, so this is how Facebook targeting works. All right, with a potential reach, you're able to know how many of these people are in the United States. Okay, so right away let's say you can sell a wedding ring, a gold ring with a heart shape, thank you husband, or thank you wife ring, or whatever. Okay, something interesting that catches these people groups up. So hey, your anniversary is coming up. They will be, oh wow, you actually know that my anniversary is coming up, and they might check you out. Okay, so something like that. Okay. So let's continue and just show you the most commonly used part of behaviors that me and Steve always use. Right, it will be the mobile device user. Okay, so let's say the most important one, the most commonly used is iPhone and Android users, right? Okay, so if you're selling a specific iPhone case or a specific Android phone case, you are able to target these customers by using mobile devices by brand. Okay, so right away, if you click here, you can see Apple, right? You can see people who own the iPhone 7, iPhone 7 Plus, So people who, let's say you're selling an iPhone 7 or iPhone 7 Plus case, right? So you just click both of this, okay? And you can see there's a potential reach of 29 million people that uses iPhone 7 and 7 Plus in the United States alone. All right, so iPhone 8 is not out yet, but I think it's gonna be out soon. But again, this is a very, very good way of targeting specific accessories to specific owners like that. All right, so of course you can even target Google phone users, LG, Samsung users, another very popular one. All right, okay, so this is very, very useful, especially going through, there's so many different kinds of interests and people in the world to target. And so how do I target specific groups of people? So this is how you target. So let's say I want to sell an iPhone case, which is say a specific dog breed. All right, so let's say corgis, right? Corgis are really cute. So you want to target corgi iPhone cases to this specific group of people. So let's try and narrow this down. So corgi, let's go ahead and type in corgi. So there's not much. All right, so Welsh corgi, let's go ahead and intersect them. All right, so right away, if you just put in a few more, corgi addict, daily corgi, just put in all this corgi related. Okay, so people who own the iPhone 7 and love corgi, there's around 600,000 people. This is not a lot, it's considerably really little. All right, but this is a very, very targeted group of people that both love, they love the corgi, and they are using the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. Thus, this ad set will target very, very specifically to this passionate group of corgi lovers that use the iPhone case. Alright, so I hope you have a very, very clear understanding of how to make use of these interests or these behaviors or demographics to really intersect and target at people really, really specifically. Alright, so in a separate video, we'll go through some of the basics of the interest targeting and broad targeting to get you started. with your basic testing of your products you are about to launch in your Shopify store. Alright, so I'll see you in the next video.